This is Charter Local Edition. We're in the San Gabriel Valley today. I'm Brad Pomerance, and guess who's here? Kathryn Barger. She is a member of the Board of Supervisors in Los Angeles County. Supervisor Kathryn Barger, how are you?
Well,
You did
great.
it.
I know. Last time I was here, it was a countdown,
Exactly.
and then there were two.
And there
now,
were two.
Now you're stuck with me for 4 years,
I was
Brad.
going to say maybe longer.
Yeah, I hope well. Yeah.
Talk to us about this victory. You had been chief of staff to the incumbent who was termed out. It was a long slog. You made it through. Talk to us.
I like that, a long slog.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Actually, I started handling health and welfare.
Right.
So I did that for 13 years, 15 years as chief of staff. And a councilman from LA City said to me, because he went from being a chief of staff to a council member, and he said it's like being the key nurse in charge of prepping the instruments for surgery to going in and performing the surgery.
And being the doctor.
And I didn't get it. Tuesday when I went into the boardroom,
You got it.
I got it.
I know that you are one of five and you are you, but this is an historic board. There are 5 members of the Board of Supervisors in Los Angeles County. 4 of you are women.
Yes.
That is remarkable. I mean, it truly is. This is the largest county, I think, in the country, and 4 of you are women.
So a stat, 1 of every 35 people in the United States resides in LA County.
Right.
It is the largest, the 5th district is the largest, 2,900 square miles. And we have a budget of nearly $30 billion.
Right.
So
If LA County were a state, it'd be as big as Michigan.
correct. And the makeup of the board has changed quite a bit. I think last time we were here, we talked about the fact that when I started, there were 5 men.
Right.
And now you've got 4 women and a man. The challenges are still the same.
I hear you, but is there, and forgive me, but I want to ask, is there something about having that makeup that may provide a different approach, flair, touch?
Absolutely. I joke about the fact that I walk with husbands on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the wives on Tuesday and Thursday. And I can tell you that the same story told through 2 different lenses.
Right.
And I have 3 older brothers, so I'm used to the way guys think, which is unique. So we are going to look at it through different lenses. I think that the women do tend to view things, and I don't want to say in a more compassionate, but just in a more, I don't even want to say thoughtful, because I don't want to.
I'll take it. Look, I'm married to a woman. I have 2 daughters. I get it.
Yeah, and so I think our approaches are different, but we all want the same outcome.
And what's also interesting is the 4 women, as well as the man, come with such a great breadth of different experiences. I mean, you were chief of staff, Sheila Kuehl in the Assembly and the Senate, Hilda Solis, Secretary of Labor, Janice Hahn in Congress, Mark Ridley Thomas City. I mean,
and Janice Hahn's father was county supervisor.
Of course. And so it's just on so many levels, it really is a panoply of different life lessons.
It is, and I know that it's an honor for me, number one, to be representing the 5th district. This is my passion. This is my love. More importantly, it's an honor to sit with 4 colleagues that all have the same commitment and dedication that I do. We will disagree on things.
Of course.
And that's just the way it's going to have to play out.
I want to talk about women in LA County and provide a statistic to you which is devastating. The number of homeless women in our county has gone up 55% since 2013. Los Angeles County is now the homeless capital of the nation, almost 50,000 homeless in a county of 10 million. These are crushing times, and they are not only in Skid Row, but in the 5th district.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
They're everywhere. And the passage of Prop 47, which decriminalized drug use, and the AB 109, which transferred prisoners down to the county, I think exacerbated and increased this number. And we have a problem, and you can't ignore it. They are becoming invisible in the community. I walk down the street, and there's a homeless individual lying on the street, and people walk by and don't even pay attention.
Which is heartbreaking, because what's different about this crisis, and we've discussed this, in past crises, the homeless were centralized. Now they're everywhere. And at first, I would feel kind of fear, but compassion, but I'm getting numb. And I'm sure that most of my Angelino friends are as well.
And that's really not unique, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I have to say that when you look at the number of women and children, it's no fault of the child.
Of course not.
And we want to break this cycle of poverty. The only way to do that is to put these women, many of them with domestic violence surrounding their circumstances of being on the street, and give them the ability to provide a roof over their children's head.
8% of the homeless in LA County today are under 18.
Yeah.
Voters of Los Angeles were generous. In November 2016, they passed Measure HHH, which is a bond measure for construction of permanent supportive housing. But someone needs to operate that housing, and that's where the county comes in. And recently, the 5 of you voted 5-0 to ask the voters of the county to be generous. Explain what we expect to see on the ballot in March.
Well, first of all, the original proposal was a general tax, which would have been a 50% plus one with no sunset. And that is something that I could not support because the issue is not a general issue, it's an issue regarding homeless. To the credit of Mark Ridley Thomas and Supervisor Janice Hahn, they brought in a proposal that in fact is a tax specific to homeless, that we have to quantify and provide to the voters how that money is going to be spent, and it's a 10-year sunset.
What's so interesting to me is you would think if the tax is general, let's make the threshold to pass greater. If it's specific, we know where it's going, but the voters didn't go that way. So you need 2/3 to pass this in March.
You need 2/3 to pass it, and more importantly, we have to provide a roadmap and a specific plan as to how that money is going to be spent.
Are you concerned, though, Supervisor, that 4/10 of the county in November voted for homeless funding, and now they're going to be asked to vote again?
Well, that was city specific to LA City.
Right, but that's still 4 million out of 10 million.
And I guess it's really going to come down to whether the county, I joke about this, but it's true. The city of LA does an incredible job about talking about all the great things they do. And so it makes the paper, the wonderful things they do. In the county, we do amazing things. The number of veterans has gone down. Well, yeah, the number of homeless veterans has gone down. But we didn't have a press conference, and we didn't, have ticker tape. We do it.
I know. I've always thought that we in the media don't serve Californians well, in that we're so city focused, the mayor, whereas counties impact our lives so much more.
But we don't. We assume part of that responsibility because we don't either. So we need to tell what we've done well, bringing the number of veterans that are homeless down.
So how can you take those lessons with veterans' homelessness undeniably dropping and apply it to the general population of homeless?
We've got to show how we're spending the current budget as it relates to homeless programs, and get out there. I mean, I've made a pledge to be transparent, work with the press, work with the media, work with the community, to let them know what we're doing, and to take feedback where they think that we are failing. And I'm not going to make everybody happy, and I recognize that.
It's okay.
But also, I'm going to be working on legislation as it relates to mental health. Because money alone is not going to solve this problem. Money alone is not going to get us out of this hole that we're in. This is a society's issue that we need to fix.
So will the 5 of you fight for the March sales tax initiative? Because it's going to be a fight.
It is going to be a fight, and I don't even want to say fight for. I think but I mean, there are those that would say fight. I mean, there are some taxes that they fight, and it's not necessarily in the best interest of the public. I'm going to educate, and I'm confident, given the state of affairs in this county, people will recognize that this is a necessity. And if they don't, then we go back to the drawing board.
Her name is Kathryn Barger. She's a supervisor in Los Angeles County. My name is Brad Pomerance. You're watching Charter Local Edition.